The artisanal and small-scale mining ASM sector in Zambia has grown in leaps and bounds over the past few years. With the challenges associated to large-scale commercial mining, the Zambian government is turning its attention to the growing artisanal and small-scale mining ASM sector as a means for creating employment for its people, as well as a conduit for poverty reduction. One feature of the ASM sector in Zambia, which is worth paying attention to, is the growing presence of women assuming important roles in a sector dominated by men. The recent trends in the ASM sector have demonstrated that women are defying the odds by joining men in this industry. Majority of the Zambian women in the ASM sector are involved in the mining of industrial minerals and gemstones. Zimba village in Mufulira district has over 400 women working as artisanal miners, specializing in mining silica, which is used to extract copper. Some of these women have been mining silica for more than 2 decades. The day for most women miners here starts just before the sun rises.
We don't know how she always finds a way, the mystery of a woman, a savior in a time of need, the bravery of a woman. In time of need, she does the deed, the magic of a woman.
Bridget Malama, a single mother of 5, has been mining for the last 7 years, and she has managed to take care of her family. Bridget supplements her mining income with another business of making a non-alcoholic traditional drink known as umunkoyo, which she leaves home for the children to sell when she is at the mining site during the day. But how did she learn the art of mining?
Shena chali chakosa, chali kosereve sana. Nombo mlandu wakwe bachishakwete fimbio foninga chita. But nare koserera fya fimi. Nde koserera fya fine nde bomba until naska na abedira.
However, Bridget narrates that she feels she could do more for her family if only she was paid what is due to her on time by the people who buy the silica she mines.
Nimbomba 7 years. Ukumona kwenda fo tubomba ne milipirira batulipirira mu tusha kwa mapotafia bafeya. Nimokulaba wabomba limiba milipira limimuri lyaineye limbikwa babiri abamisendera no mpere mpia filafine ma ebwa fa bumbi obo tusamukwata. But singanifye fako bachi tulelipirwa mu busuma mwali bafye bwino factory mwa pantanshu kuchira na fino nomba alabena besa mukusendera bambimbala senda fe baya so na ikwata shimbisha mu 2016 tabampera na 2018 tabampera license tatoa kwata balabesa fenga vile fine batukonka kumpanga so license yali ngasana sana bakata license limbitwa kwata ile shuko kwa chira license bati ba minister ba Brian Mshimba bali saturushako na fya bakwachi mu process kukwata filomba mining license bwino fya yakwati na fwe ne twambo kulata supply kulikonse but fya ba mu process kwena obuyantanshi bwino mpobudi ba light kulya kwa mashelters ama toilet na menshi tatwa kwete kumpanga bali tupangira elo mu 2019 ba future preneur abali shire tuletera kwa fya safety fya parama gloves ama respirator na madras so isubiro lyanji nero nakwata nalishi bafya tina fimbi kwena kuchiba atwafwa pantopo twambira okubomba tatwa monapo fya pala fidia nombopo bena bali amba nesubiro lyani nalishi bafya nefiri fyonse fo tukalomba kuli bena bakatwafwa eyo njimba ina matanzi muli pamweshi imbi nkumaisha fela 15 tani ngatamuli fya kumfya na fya kwa batilimo kula bali imbi mumushi mwakwate chiriro imbi namkwata amalwele pa family filia abanga fwako bana ebanga fwako kuimba amabwe
woman woman. A savior is a woman. Yeah.
Bridget is appealing to persons and organizations that deal with women empowerment to come to the aid of artisanal miners in Zimba village.
We are tangible for women empowerment. For the when that woman to mfuave filafine kuba nensu. For that woman nomba isubiro na kwata ine mlando waba futurepreneur since bali tende ko umulimo. So na women empowerment limbi kuishuko ngefine chitwakwata.
When a man will cry, a woman smiles. Her shoes have walked 1,000 miles. The sticks of stone can break her bones. She welcomes all her friends and foes. When her spirit's down, she has no time to frown.
Just a few meters away from Bridget's house is another artisanal miner also getting ready for the day.
Woman, a savior is a woman. Woman.
Teresa Chowa is married and she has 9 children. She has been mining silica for 12 years.
Buchushe bwarengere okwamba okuimba mabwe kairita pali po emilimo nangu yimo eyo twale bomba era twayishire nomba kuisa kunwa ati awo limbi tule kwatira mwaka buku mwaka nono akakweba tituinga sangira mu kuikara nga twayikara fienishi kutirimbi wayayiba nomba kwena tayanguka iyi milimo yali be yakosa kwena mulafumako mukuchuchutika kwesu tulasambirishishya mu abana nokusanga mwaka bufunga kulingana n'emilimo yine tubomba eyo tuliramo filafine mukuwawa yakwesu kwena fimo fila tushupako nomba kulingana no buchushi bwini obutula kwata okufikirisha filafine.
The nature of the mining sector is that it is labor intensive and requires the workers in the sector at the barest minimum to use some form of protective clothing such as goggles, masks, earpads, gloves, boots, to mention but a few. Unfortunately, most of the miners in the sector work without these protective gears. This exposes them to health risks, and in Teresa's case, her children are also exposed. These children are all under the age of 13 and spend long hours here, sometimes with no food or water.
Kwena tulafwaya batwimbira kwa mabwe ero nga batwimbira ko fili nga baletwimbira ko limbi kuti mulerwisha ko pano no kusefa kwena tayabe yangu kanefi bombero fieta twakwata tamo mwene basando bene namukama na efekali basando amapiki ita twakwata
The children are supposed to be in school, but due to the rise in COVID-19 cases, schools in non-examination classes have closed indefinitely. And Teresa, ignorant of child's rights, feels that this is her opportunity to get some much-needed help at the mining site.
Aho kwena ku skulu rulino rwa corona rwaise rwarenga kwena ababali beminika tabaya kwayi ku skulu kwena baraya nomba babambi baliko mu magrade aya akulu kulingana no rupia lulanshupa bambi tabaya ko balikala mu mushi
Songbird and child's rights activist Wezi feels strongly about these children being made to do manual labor.
I am a very strong advocate against child labor. I do not believe that children should be kept away from even just playgrounds, before we start talking about something as serious as education. Children shouldn't be forced to work or to earn a living. It's not the child's job to provide for the family. So that is totally something that is an inconvenience on both the parents, because sometimes it could be that they're getting not even the least minimum. Sometimes they're exploited, because they are women. Women are usually, I hate to say this, but women are usually overpowered, even, on an intellectual point of view. Sometimes some people negotiate their prices way down, they go home with nothing. So how are they sending their children to school? How are they providing? So you want to avoid accidents, and the only way that you feel that you can protect your children is to carry them at work so that you can keep an eye on them even as you work. So it's not, I don't think that it's intentional for every parent. Some of them exploit their children, but others, I feel that they lack the resources and the finances to take their children to school, so they depend on money to hope for a better day.
Most ASM operations are in the areas that are often not serviced by the local authorities, and so the women here lack adequate water and sanitation facilities, posing yet another serious health and environmental hazard. It is against this background that the Center for Trade, Policy and Development, with support of the Joint Country Program, set up a shelter near the site to help address the sanitation challenges. The shelter is about 1 kilometer from the mining site, a development that the miners never imagined.
And we really thank God for CTBD, the Future Entrepreneur, the GSCP. They come in our aid so that they can empower us, they can empower our cooperative to do so many things. As you can see, the place is looking so nice. It's because of these people, the NGOs. At the moment, the people are supporting us in everything. Now our challenge, our cry is, we are crying to the nation that Zimba mining has been denigrated for so many years. Without the CTB, Future Entrepreneur, JCP, there was no any assistance. That's the challenge we had. Yeah, the biggest challenge is selling of our silica. We have got a very big challenges. We sell to Mopani, to CCS, Chambesme, Copper Smelter. Then our challenge is when the buyers, we have got suppliers, as you can hear, there is a noise. So we are selling silica right now. As we are selling silica, the problem we had is when those suppliers, if they took our silica, they don't pay us in time. That's the biggest challenge. Yeah. They have got more than they owe us a lot of money, actually, from 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. Their buyers who hasn't paid us in time. So that's the biggest challenge we are facing in our mining area.
67-year-old Erica Mumba has been mining silica here for close to 3 decades, but explains that of late she has had challenges in making ends meet due to the late payment by the middlemen who buy silica for resale to Mopani Copper Mine.
Nakwata mwemiaka namba 27 years. Momba fye ifine nshakwata wakungafu. Nomba nga basenda mabwe nishibaya bayiririra. Nomba ene kuti nachitashani nshakwata abakuti barendisha. Narishara n'abana banshiwa. Rero nomba naine ukuyikara bashikuru bantu bari rwala nabakwata 6 years. Tababomba nangu chimo. Nomba ne mwana kashini nebo nine mombe fe naishira kuno kumabo mukwana. Hao bwache bwakutusendera amabwe nokulaka nokuti atukula tupela na fino kuti atiepa wishire tapari nangu kwa ichakurya nangu chimo leno afya menshi eka fya kuboho chapo apa abula nangu kama akarupi yao.
To add to the challenges that these women are already facing, the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in the low sales of silica.
Litufulunganya kangeta turebomba nangu chimo fya kuti ati tufaire mo fya kubika pamiona tatu wako ata
COVID-19 kwena na ifulunganya kwa mbombere Yesu kantu kunu moku twale supply kuli bampani na bachambishi twale ba supplier no mlando wa COVID-19 bampani badi mnika abantu abengi kubomba so na sirika yali be yayimina bantu tabale bomba so tukwete fe balabene fe bamufe bachambishi nomba limbi na bene balefira okushita manage ukutukwanisha abantu fe bantu alifula so a challenge tukwete kuri COVID-19 finta fidi bwino sana.
Area Ward Councillor Patrick Mbetela says the women have been taken advantage of by the middlemen because they are vulnerable.
We have been trying to make sure that they come up with one solid buyer who is genuine and who is able to help them generate income. Because what used to happen, there were a lot of people who could come with their briefcases pretending they will pay our people, and when they collect, they go for good. And I had also involved the other NGOs like Futurepreneur, DTT. These are NGOs that are helping them to understand the value of what they are mining and how it can sustain their livelihood. To the women who are mining silica in my ward, what I can advise is we come up together through these NGOs and make sure that there is our process, because not only this silica can be used to the mines, there can be those outside who can like this product to be processed in a different way which we have not yet discovered. But it's very viable that we look for other people who can help us. Women need their support.
Mufulira Mayor Dr. Gift Chapamushinge emphasized on the need for women miners to diversify in order to sustain their livelihoods. He has also assured the women that government is ready to support them.
COVID, as much as it could be termed as disastrous, ruthless, and all the names of it can deserve to be called, it has been a wake-up call, I think, to the entire world. But from Mufulira, for the women who are in mining, they've seen the real need to diversify. And this is one issue the president has been talking about time and again, diversification from mining into agriculture. Yeah, Zambia predominantly it's a mining economy, it's a mining country. But as it were, I think COVID has given us a lot of lessons to learn from. I think it's timely that there's been this lockdown, non-movement of goods and services, equal people's movements are restricted. Yeah, so I think it's something that we've learned, and we just need to diversify and follow the steps of His Excellency the President of getting into farming. One thing I can assure you is that Mufulira has got all the best components that makes a favorable land for agriculture. We've got very good rains, we've got good soils, and in as much as climate change is also cropping in and creeping in, but I don't think it would be that bad in Mufulira. Yes, even in the past years we've had droughts and effects of climate change, but Mufulira hasn't been affected that adversely. And this is why I call upon residents of Mufulira to take it up. The government is doing its best. His Excellency the President, Mr. Edgar Chagwalung, needs a pat on the back. Even as we speak now, all the inputs have arrived in the district. So what makes someone not to do farming? Then God-given natural endowments, rain, soils, we have it all what it takes. Just a few days ago, we were in Insato Forest, just near where those ladies are farming. The government of the Republic of Zambia, through the Office of the Vice President, they've given out that land would be like our ladies we were talking about. And I suppose maybe some of them could be beneficiaries of the same land that we are giving out under resettlement. And this is the direction the government is taking. So in as much as we need that to be done like yesterday, I think the government has given a very favorable and conducive atmosphere to do farming in Mufulira, coupled with the natural endowments that we enjoy.
We attempted to speak to the middlemen over the allegations of non-payment to the miners, but they declined to speak to us. Lack of mining equipment is another challenge these women face.
Imi bombere kai tubonfia ngaule imba fita tubonfia mapiki then turakwata turi atutuma mumanda abendi balanda tuma vegetable rank turi oto tubonfye okusefera kwa mabo nomba turakwata challenge mumbombere we muneri mpaka kuchukumanishe traki kumanishe nangu fetch tani turakoni challenge ikulu sana kuchula my equipment yetu ingabonfya na lyeshiba kwabanga especially fefya para roda ile tuimbira kufidya then kwali badimbi panche ndepole bombira pali female ya fima boy fukuru na kilasha ilafwaikwa elo kwa kusange fine kwena totoa kuishiba.
To help cushion some of the challenges the women miners are facing, CTPD has encouraged them to diversify from mining to agriculture to enable them have another stream of income as a way to survive. CTPD has partnered with JCP and Futurepreneur to ensure that this project is a success. But how will this project be sustained?
Actually, a lot of them have been very excited with the proposal that we brought to their attention. One of the challenges that they've just basically had is lack of information, getting to understand what type of crops they can grow. The other big challenge that we are seeing that we need to help out with is sorting out the market challenges. If you look at Mufulira from the Center for Trade Policy and Development, we think it is strategically positioned. On the other side, you have Mokambo border, which is a strategic entry point into the Democratic Republic of Congo. And there is need to just actually work out mechanisms of ensuring that produce that can come from an initiative like this can find itself to strategic places like that. But besides that, even just the local population, there are shopping malls that are springing up as you go towards Kitwe. There are several shopping malls to which we think there can be potential markets that the cooperative can actually get to tap into.
The Ministry of Agriculture will support the women miners if they decide to switch to agriculture.
Yeah, I'm aware that there is a group of women in Zimba compound who base their livelihood on the mining of silica, and that is not sustainable looking at the times we're in, and even before the COVID thing, because those women would maybe mine their silica but would not know exactly when their monies will be paid to them, because they would mine them for a middleman and then they have to wait for the payment. But when we encourage such women to venture into agriculture, we know that agriculture is a sustainable business, because we will not only rely on the rain-fed agriculture, we'll also encourage them to do the irrigated agriculture, where you can grow a lot of cash crops such as vegetables, tomatoes, to name just a few. But unlike mining, agriculture is an ongoing business which can sustain and ensure that the government, as well as at national and household level, the food security as well as income is sustainable.
So in terms of the prospects for the future for this project, one of the things that we want to do is to link this project to many support structures. As we speak, one of the things that we came to do here this time around was to have a conversation with the district agriculture cooperatives office. The basic idea was to introduce this project to the ministry so that they can begin to offer support. In terms of the support, we are looking at things like providing trainings for these women so that we can begin to have a shift in terms of the mindset, the perception with regards to agriculture, trying to open up their mind to the opportunities that are there within the agriculture sector. The other thing that we are seeking from offices such as this is basically for them to come and offer their technical support in the form of trying to look at the soil type, testing it, and providing technical advice in terms of the suitable crops that can be grown from such a place. In the near future, we are also looking at identifying partners that can come on board and provide support to even kickstart other projects that might be speaking to other alternatives such as livestock rearing, because there are several lucrative markets where you can sell things like pigs, things like goats. If you remember, more recently there was that arrangement that was announced indicating that there's a market opportunity for the selling of goats to Saudi Arabia. So when you look at such opportunities, that women and young people do not know about, but if they have that at the back of their mind, it makes it very easy. Besides engaging policymakers like the Ministry of Agriculture, our appeal is also to the private sector, the mining companies themselves, through initiatives such as the corporate social responsibility. We think this is a demonstration of what corporate social responsibility can actually look like.
Back in Zimba village, as the sun sets, the women and their families embark on a journey back home after a hard day's work at the mines. Their journey to the mines awakens the next day. Formed in 1997, the Association of Women in Mining is aimed at helping women in the sector have a voice on pertinent issues affecting them, such as poverty. So, what is the association doing for these women in Zimba?
On that one, we're trying our best to teach our women to seek knowledge, because you can't just do mining without having the knowledge. So you have to start from knowing what you are doing. So we do some training, like basic training. We thank God that the Ministry of Mines, of course, whenever we approach them, they give us some people to help us with the basic training, and we do send our women to Ndola Rapidary also to go and do some basic training, from identification of gemstones up to the value addition.
The association has attributed the little progress in these women's lives to poor marketing and exploitation by the middlemen.
Truly, marketing has been very bad to us. We've been trying to cut the middlemen, because sometimes they would not tell you what is there. So we're trying hard to do away with them, where we are saying woman has to do direct with the end user, because sometimes you don't get anything, even on export, even local. We are trying to do away with the middlemen.
Adding a voice to the discourse of women in mining is the Executive Director for the Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOCC, Ngwase Mwale. She says her organization has taken keen interest to see how best the council can make mining for women more conducive.
Mining is mainly a male-dominated sector, and for a long time we have looked at mining really as a man's job. Of course, in the recent past, we have witnessed the boldness that women bring into the space of mining through a number of projects that women are doing in mining. As NGOCC, not just left the aspect of women in mining as maybe just one of the members. We have in the past taken a keen interest to see how we can make a difference as NGOCC in the work and operations of the Zambia women in mining. So through our basket fund that was supported by the Norwegian embassy then, the Zambia women in mining were able to share with us a proposal where they were looking at getting machinery. So I'm proud to say that on our part as NGOCC, women in mining is one of the areas that we have noted as a critical, economic kind of activity sector, which also requires the participation of women. I know that in the recent past, like you said, women are increasingly involved in the mining of silica, which is, one of those minerals, that Zambia needs, when we're looking at maybe improving the export of minerals. So we are aware that some of the members of the Zambia Women in Mining who are members of NGOCC are actively involved in mining of silica.